Bueno,
Mhm.
dice Shuddha que está en el este de Inglaterra y que está en un lugar muy hermoso y que para los maratones que están en nosotros. Y
Okay.
comenzamos esa opción.
No se
Mhm.
escucha, Pati, no sé, se te escucha como, no sé ustedes cómo lo escuchan, pero se escucha como, no lo escuchan.
Yes.
Como lejos.
Como lejos, claro.
No sé.
Yeah, that's better. Just say something.
Now,
That's
now,
better. Now it's better. Better.
Okay.
Yes. All right. Let us begin with a three mantra. Who would like to sing it? Mm.
¿Quién quiere cantar el trimantra si comenzamos?
Gaby canta, puede cantar.
Mm-hmm.
Namo Vitragai, Namo Harihantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Ayariyanam, Namo Vatsayanam, Namo Loye Savasaunam, Eso Pancha Namo Karo, Savapavapanashano, Mangalanam Cha Savesim, Paramam Havai Mangalam, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Jai Satchitanand, Namo Vitragai, Namo Harihantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Ayariyanam, Namo Vatsayanam, Namo Loye Savasaunam, Eso Pancha Namukaro, Savapavapanashano, Mangalanam Cha Savesim, Paramam Havai Mangalam, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Jai Satchitanand, Namo Vitragai, Namo Harihantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Ayariyanam, Namo Vatsayanam, Namo Loye Savasaunam, Eso Pancha Namukaro, Savapavapanashano, Mangalanam Cha Savesim, Paramam Havai Mangalam, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Jai Satchitanand, Jai Sachitanam. Jai Sachitanam. Jai Sachitanam.
Jai Sachitanam.
Jai Sachitanam.
Esta chica.
Shuddha sabrá que está con el audio cortado.
Sí,
No. ¿Sabe? No sabe.
Shuddha, we
está
don't listen
cortado.
you. You have your micro off.
Oh, I see, I see. So last satsang, okay. So last satsang. Oh man, this is too much sun. Okay, all right. In the last satsang, we talked about parko. Parko means that which is not ours, you see. Parko means that which is not ours. And that which is not ours, not under our control at all, we should understand that, and therefore there's nothing we can do about it except to let it flow, let it unfold, and let it be. Let
Yes.
it be, okay? Yes.
En el último satsang estuvimos viendo Parko, que quiere decir que no es nuestro, no está bajo nuestro control y lo único que podemos hacer es dejar que fluya.
It is called the filled stock, you see. It is stock that was filled in the last life, and it is coming out, you see, in discharge, right?
Bueno, y eso es un stock que fue llenado en la vida pasada y que ahora está saliendo.
Let me see where the sound is coming from. That might, okay.
Patri, perdón, me parece que es el teléfono de Patri que las notificaciones que aparecen.
No,
Entonces,
no.
It wasn't her. Maybe it was either Gabi or Sissy. Okay, that's all right. Not a problem. Not a problem. We adjust. Okay. So, you see, this filled stock, whatever it is, whether you like it or don't like it, whether other people in the world like it or do not like it, it is going to come out. And when it does come out, let it come out. Let it come out, Dada says, you see. And this is all filled stock. It was, like, remember that tar, T-A-R, is the material with which they make roads, very dark, sticky material. The Dadashri says is some of it is that sticky and dark in color, like the highway roads, it will come out slowly, it's sticky, but whatever it is coming out. You see, so Dada, then the questioner is asking Dada, can you please bless us in such a way that these mistakes do not happen for us anymore? The mistake being, the mistake is the belief that this is happening to me, you see. The mistake is the belief that this is happening to me, and that is why you react, you see. So Dada, can you not bless us? Can you please bless us? Please bless us in such a way that we do not make these mistakes. Yes.
Bueno, Dada dice que todo ese stock que fue cargado, te guste o no, va a salir. Entonces lo tiene que dejar salir, dice Dada. Y esto es como algo pegajoso y oscuro como con lo que construyen los caminos, el asfalto, y tiene que salir. Y le preguntan a Dada, ¿puedes bendecirnos de tal manera que no cometamos más estos errores? Y con estos errores es la creencia de que esto me sucede a mí. Ese es el error, creer que me sucede a mí.
So Dadashri's response is, if they stop, in other words, if the mistakes stops, then you will have problems, because then you will need to take it out through your own efforts. You see, first, these mistakes, this discharge in our life, it is happening naturally. Good and bad things are happening through the medium of Damien, Patricia, Gabi, etc. Right? Now, if you try to stop it, not, if you try to suppress it, control it, then you have blocked the natural flow of it coming out. You see, it was going to come out, but you blocked it. And then next time, if you want to take it out, you will have to make efforts to take it out, you see. So this is all the garbage and what are called the tar that has collected. You see, if you keep accumulating tar inside, you say tar, then what will happen? It will come back again. So this what is happening to you and I, each one of us, you see, in our life, is that which was filled. That's all. So yes, therefore, just continue seeing it. Just continue seeing it.
Yes. Dada dice, si el error parara, tendrías que sacarlo por ti mismo, y eso sería con muchísimo esfuerzo. Y las cosas pasan por el medio, y el medio que es Damien, es Patricia, es Gabi. Entonces no puedes bloquear la salida, sino sacarlo será con mucho más esfuerzo. Lo que tienes que, si acumulas lo que se llenó, solo, cuando sale solo tienes que observar, ver, como yo.
Yeah. So now the next heading is get the pratikramans of the faults done. You see, get the done. Get them done. In other words, if the faults arises that hurts on you, this Dadashri says, and because this is Akram Vignan, not the step-by-step old exact science, you have to, when the mistakes happen, you have to make Damien, Gabi do Pratikraman, you see. Why? Why? Because this is Akram Vignan, you see.
Bien. El próximo título es que hagas los pratikramas a todas las faltas hechas. Y Dada dice, porque en el camino del Akram Vignan, no es el camino paso a paso. Entonces los errores de Damián, de Gabriela, los tienen que ver y hacer Pratikraman. Porque este es el camino del Akram Vignan.
Yeah, this the Kramic path, you see, the other, which is the Kramic path, is a very correct path. It is a path of wisdom. In other words, everyone on the Kramic path and the step-by-step path, they have cleared all these mistakes. You see, step by step, they clear the mistakes through the ego. You see, and so wherever they are, they have cleared that part, you see, completely. They clear it up and move forward. It's like clearing up a road that has not been traveled much, you see, what do? You cannot proceed further until you clear the road. Whereas in Akram Vignan, you don't have to travel on that road, the Kramic road anymore. You are lifted up, you see. You're out of the doership, you see.
Yes. En el camino krámico, el paso a paso, eso lo resuelven es un camino correcto, ¿no? Lo resuelven a través de la sabiduría y van limpiando a través del ego paso a paso. Y así van limpiando. Pero en Akram Vignan, nosotros fuimos elevados del hacedor, fuimos separados del hacedor.
So, if Chandubhai has spoken something that hurts anyone, and that has hurt someone, then you have to say, Chandubhai, why are you doing this? You see, you hurt someone, so now do Pratikraman. Why are you doing this? You see.
Por ejemplo, si Chandu le dice algo que hiere a alguien, viene otro y le dice, ¿por qué hiciste eso que heriste a alguien? Haz Pratikraman.
And the questioner says, shoot on sight immediately, Dada. Dadashri says, yes, shoot on sight. You don't have to do all day long, you see. You don't have to do Pratikraman all day long. All day long, you don't do Pratikraman. But when a mistake happens which hurts another human being, then you have to do Pratikraman. Our Mahatmas do Pratikraman, but this Mahatmas, the Pratikraman of Mahatmas is such that we do not do them. You see, we do not have to do Pratikraman. But does Vishuddhatma, Amapura have to do Pratikraman? No. The one who is doing atik, it does. The one who does never do atikraman, aggression, does not have to do pratikraman, amapura. And this is for the one who has done the aggression, the ego, the discharging ego. You have to tell them, go do pratikraman. Come on, do pratikraman. Okay.
Entonces dice que ni bien cometas el error de lastimar a alguien, inmediatamente tienen que limpiarlo dentro haciendo Pratikraman. ¿Quién es el que hace? El alma pura no lastima a nadie. El que tiene que hacer Pratikraman inmediatamente es Chandu.
So that's the short paragraph of get the Pratikramans done, you see. Now the next heading is...
Este es un párrafo para ver cuándo se hace Pratikraman. El próximo título es...
Now this Pratikraman part everybody knows, right? Everybody in this group knows that we don't do Pratikraman. We are aware. We become aware when the Atikraman or the aggression happens through Fabi, Damien, Gabi, etc., do an immediate shoot on sight, silent Pratikraman. Make Damien do the Pratikraman, you see. So we all know this. We all know this very well, right? Renata, you know this, right? Renata? Calixto, you know this, right? You know it. You know this Pratikraman very well, don't you? Yes. Okay.
En este título se habla de que, bueno, nosotros no hacemos Pratikraman, ¿no? Y tenemos conciencia de cuando cuando herimos a alguien, lastimamos a alguien, entonces sí, inmediatamente lo limpiamos.
Yes, Marcela.
Jai Satchitanand, quiero saber por qué si herimos el ego de otra persona, ¿por qué le pedimos perdón al alma pura de esa persona? ¿Qué le importa al alma pura de esa persona que hayamos herido el ego? Esa es mi pregunta.
Marcela, dale, también.
¿Querés que
grande,
hagamos una
grande.
otra vez?
Me encanta.
Yes.
Her question is, why, if I had the ego of somebody else, we beg pardon for alma pura of that person? Because the alma pura is beyond, it has nothing to do with that hurt.
Yes, you're not, the one in this world, it is the ego that hurts the ego, you see. The Amapura of either side, either your Amapura or the other Amapura, is the blissful silent knower. So the one who does the aggression, the one who does the Pratikraman, is the one who has to do the Pratikraman. And yes, so this is the way in which it happens. This is the way, this is the process. Egos get hurt, Amapuras never get hurt. So wherever there is hurt and pain, the correction mode is an extra step. Amapura doesn't have to do Pratikraman at all, Marcela. And Amapuras don't hurt Amapura. Never. Amapuras never hurt anyone. So in this world, it is in the relative level that all the pains and hurt and depression and anger, pride, deceit, greed happens in the relative world. So it is an exact, precise step for a Mahatma. It is an exact, precise step for a Mahatma, you see?
Yes. El ego es el que hiere al ego. El alma pura es el bendecido conocedor y observador, ¿eh? Y la otra persona también es el alma pura, es el bendecido conocedor y observador. El que hace Pratikraman no es el alma pura, es Chandu. Y así es el proceso. El alma pura no hiere a nadie. Todo esto está sucediendo en lo relativo. En lo relativo sucede el dolor, la depresión, la ira, el abuso, la codicia, el engaño. Pero nosotros, como Mahatma, este es un paso preciso.
See, the Pratikramans of Akram Vignan are highly scientific and designed to make the person completely free from that particular fault. You see, in other words, you are directing your pratikramans not to the relative state of that other person. You see, the other person is already upset. You do not have to do pratikraman from John or Mary or Chandubhai. You see, you don't have to do pratikraman from them. Inside them is the Amapura. It is the presence of the Amapura that receives this pain. Amapura is present, and the presence of Amapura, this mistake has been done. You see, if the Amapura wasn't there in the other human being, it's like a dead body. You see, so in the presence of the Amapura, the mistakes, the faults, the hurtful activity has happened. So the exact approach is, oh Amapura of that human being, that person of Gabi, Marcela, please forgive me. And you are not asking. You as the Amapura is not saying, please forgive me. Amapura never makes any faults. Amapura doesn't have to ask for forgiveness. Marcela made the fault in discharge. Marcela has to ask for the permission from the Amapura of the other person who got hurt, you see. Oh, my Lord, forgive me. So this is the exact approach from inside the other person. Inside, it's a silent healing process. The healing happens, you see. And you understand? Yeah, it's an inner healing. It is not an outward activity healing process.
Yes. El Pratikraman de Akram Vignan es algo científico, supremo y científico que libera de esa falta en particular. Pero no se hace dentro de lo relativo, porque se hace, no es el relativo que se hace, porque es el alma pura el que recibió ese insulto o ese dolor. Entonces es al alma pura a la que le pedimos perdón. Y al no el alma pura no pide perdón. Marcela pide perdón al alma pura de la otra persona. Y es una sanación que sucede, es una sanación única.
Yeah, the correction has to involve the one who was present, you see, at the time of the hurt. Amapura is present even when you are fighting with another person. There, Amapura inside receives these signals. If you say, stupido, get out, this and that, Amapura is aware of the hurt. And that Amapura in the other person has not separated, does not have self-realization, and therefore that hurt magnifies, hurt magnifies. Now you ask for that Amapura, please, 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 mistake, please forgive me, you see. And it reaches the other person. The Amapura in the other person heals. This is called the Amapura of belief, mixed Chetan, Mishra Chetan, you see. He believes that I am hurt, you see.
Yes.
You cannot hurt a dead tree, you see. A tree, you know, you cannot hurt a dead tree, but you can hurt a living tree, you see.
Yes. La correcta, el alma pura siempre está presente, ¿no? Y cuando hay una pelea también el alma pura está presente y observa esto que sucede. Pero cuando la persona no está separada, que no recibió está como mezclada y tiene la creencia de que lo están hiriendo a él. Entonces, eso produce como más dolor.
I'll be right with you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be right with you. Go on.
Por ejemplo, es lo mismo que un árbol que no sea un árbol artificial. Al árbol no lo podés herir, pero sí podés herir un árbol vivo.
Hay una historia que a mí me sirve mucho, que es cuando vos rompes un vidrio con la pelota de una casa, no le pedís perdón a la casa, sino que le pedís perdón a la dueña de la casa. Y con eso a mí me cubre mucho esa pregunta.
Sí, está buenísimo.
So it's the presence, you see. Everything in this world operates through presence of the Ama. When the Ama is not there, there is no interaction. You see, it's dead. You see, when the Ama is not there in a human being or in anything, you know, animals, trees, birds, it's dead. You see, so in the presence of the Amapura, of the other human being, the mistake has happened, right, Marcela? Marcela, where are you? Oh.
Sí.
So therefore, invoking, in the presence of the Amapura, you have to ask for forgiveness. Oh dear Amapura, this mistake happened with this person. Please, and you are with that person. You are separate, but you are present. You are there. You are there. In him or her, you are present. And therefore, I ask for the energies from you. I ask for the energies from you, my Lord, never to do this again. I don't want to do this again, you see. And that is a very beautiful way to reverse. There is a very beautiful way to reverse, and there is a very beautiful way to increase awareness of Amapura, because you are seeing the Amapura of the one that you have hurt. You're seeing the Amapura of that one, the person that you hurt badly, or something negative happened with him or her. So seeing the Amapura is being in Agnas again. You're coming. This Pratikraman of Mahatmas is associated with Agnas. You see, you come back there,
Yes. Bueno, la presencia de todo opera por la presencia del alma pura. Si no hubiera alma pura, todo estaría muerto. Y esta presencia del alma pura es a la que le pedimos perdón porque fue herido. Y lo hacemos invocando a la presencia pedimos perdón, ¿no? Por este error que sucedió con esa persona en tu presencia. Tú estás presente. Y también le pides energía al Lord para no volver a hacer esto. Entonces así la conciencia se eleva y también ves el alma pura de quien heriste. Y ver el alma pura está asociado con las almas.
And not only that, the other alternative is to ask for forgiveness from that person. And that person means his ego. The net sum of his existence is his ego. You see, I am John, I am Mary, and Marcela hurt me. I'm not going to talk to her now, If you go directly and say, John, I'm very sorry, this and that, it's not going to work. On the contrary, his ego will, rise, See, now, better behave. She might even tell you again, don't do this again. You've done it over and over again. He might warn you. That's kind of all of that is nonsense. Without touching the discharge anymore, without any more interference in the discharge, because this discharge, it is filled stock that came out. It was supposed to happen. But without now further stirring it up, you don't touch what has already happened. Say you've had an argument with that person. You don't go there at all. You just go straight to the presence, Amapura presence. And go like this, you see. Beautiful. It's so simple, exact. And you're not interfering in the process.
Puedes pedir perdón a la persona, le puedes pedir perdón al ego de esa persona, John, Mary, Marcela, puedes ir y decirle lo siento. Pero en realidad estás pidiendo perdón cuando le pides perdón su ego es el que surge. Y te dice, bueno, no hagas de nuevo esto, siempre estás haciendo esto y en realidad son tonterías. Entonces lo que tienes que hacer es no interferir en la descarga de esta forma. O vas directamente a la presencia a pedirle perdón porque es una descarga de karma y no tienes que interferir.
You understand, Marcela? Hmm?
Yes,
¿Entendés?
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. Amazing way. Because this world is full of faults. Not everywhere there are faults only. Your fault, my fault, everybody's faults. You see? Fault means ego playing baseball, always hitting back, never understanding what is going on. That is called fault.
Yes. Esto es una maravillosa forma, ¿no? De poder ver las faltas, porque el ego es como el béisbol, va a estar devolviendo el golpe todo el tiempo sin entender absolutamente nada de lo que está sucediendo.
And going further now into this thing, it's a next heading.
El próximo título, sigue profundizando.
As many faults that are seen, so many are gone. You see? Gone. You see? Whatever faults, yeah.
Tantas faltas que se ven, que son vistas, se fueron.
Dadashri says, that's a heading. Now Dadashri says, there is fault in every subatomic particle. As long as there is ego, as long as the illusion has not left, illusion, the wrong vision that makes you believe the wrong to be right, the wrong to be right, you see. I am this body, this is my wife, these are my children. That is the wrong vision, that is the wrong understanding. And the illusion, Maya, makes you believe this is right, this is who I am, you see.
Dada dice, hay falta en cada partícula subatómica. Y esa es la ilusión, la ilusión de creer que está correcto, de que yo soy mi cuerpo, esta es mi mujer, estos son mis hijos, y esta es la ilusión.
I should change it, not subatomic particles, but atomic particles. Dada says anu. Anu means in every atom, anu.
Okay.
And parmanu is the smallest part of an atom.
Okay.
So,
cuando dijo que en cada que hay faltas en cada partícula atómica y el parmanu es es más chiquito, es un pedacito de esa partícula atómica.
we human beings are actually collections, individual collections, different collections of subatomic particles. Some have more anger, some have more greed, some has, some look like this, some look like that, some are thin, some are fat, some are quiet, some are very loud, And the other, she says, as long as there is ego, as long as the illusion has not yet left, you see, that for so long there is a fault in every subatomic particle. And as soon as the illusion leaves, then you realize, oh, it's Patricia that is becoming angry, not I. Patricia is becoming angry, or Patricia is becoming deceitful, not I, you see?
Yes. La colección en realidad los seres humanos somos una colección de partículas atómicas, ¿no? Y pues hay diferentes clases, ¿no? Algunas están cargadas como personas muy ruidosas, calladas, o de diferentes maneras. Y todo esto tiene que ver con el ego. El ego es la ilusión que no se fue. Entonces, solamente cuando la ilusión se va, entonces hay liberación. Pero, por ejemplo, Patricia se enoja o Patricia es codiciosa. Y es cuando me doy cuenta que Patricia está enojada o Patricia, no yo.
Then you see, after the illusion is gone, then you say, it is Patricia is becoming angry, Patricia is becoming deceitful, you see? And so, and you can see this. You see?
Entonces cuando la falta ocurrió, Patricia se puede ver que caña o que se enoja.
This is important, that Patricia is becoming angry. How do you know, Dada is asking us all, how do you know that we are able to see our own faults? Okay, very important. How do you know that you are able to see your own faults, right?
Dada dice algo maravilloso. Dice, ¿cómo sabes que podemos ver nuestras propias faltas?
How do you know that you, after the Gnan Vidi, are able to see your own faults? Then the beautiful answer comes from Dada. Dada says, when Fabi or Patricia makes a mistake, you do not like it. You do not like it. That means the one who does not like it can see the mistake, right? And the mistake happens, you don't like it, that means you're separate from the mistake.
Yes. Cuando Fabiana o Patricia cometen un error y no les gusta, pueden ver el error. Y es en ese momento que están separadas.
See? How do you know? How do you know that you can see the mistakes of Paulina or Rosie or Damien? Then the answer is when the mistake happens, you do not like it. Inside, you do not like it. That means you are now seeing the mistake. You are able to see the mistake.
¿Cómo podemos saber todos? Si podemos ver nuestras faltas. Entonces, cuando el error sucede, dentro de ti, no te gusta.
When a mistake happens through Gabi, do you like it, Gabi?
Si el error sucede a través de Gabi, ¿te gusta Gabi?
No. And you don't like it. That means you're separate. You do not like it. You at the subtlest level, you do not like it. Therefore, you are able to see the mistake. If you like it, you are already involved in it. You cannot see it, you see?
Entonces, si puedes ver el error, estás separada, pero porque puedes ver el error. Pero si no puedes ver el error, todavía estás involucrada.
Y sirve ahí hablar, como ocurre que uno se habla como en tercera persona. y como que uno no es que le recrimine al archivo 1 por el error que cometió, pero como que surge inmediatamente el replicarle al archivo 1, decirle, mira lo que mira lo que estás pensando, mira lo que estás diciendo, o mira lo que te pasó, lo que acabas de hacer. ¿De dónde surge eso? ¿Es correcto eso? ¿O esas también es separación?
Damián.
Se quedaron todos pegados.
I'm
Cuando
sorry.
chico me...
A ver, de nuevo, la pregunta no escuché.
Say it again.
Que,
Again.
el que en ese momento surja el hablarle al archivo 1 y decirle, mira lo que pensaste, dijiste o hiciste, eso también es parte de la separación de quién surge
And in that
ese...
moment, that when you are able to talk to the file 1, is that the separation too?
Yeah, it is secondary separation. The most important thing is the fact that you do not like it. That means you are separate. You see, you do not like what Gabi just did. Therefore, you are separate. You understand?
El solo hecho de que no te guste está mostrando que estás separado.
Not only that, but you are able to catch the mistake of Gabi. You see, you are able to catch it exactly. You can see it. Therefore, you are able to see the mistake of Gabi. The important thing is that you do not like it. You see, you do not like when that happens. When Gabi hurts someone, you do not like it.
Lo más importante es que no te guste, por ejemplo, si herís a alguien. Pero también hay algo que es importante, que cuando vos ves el error, lo ves, lo podés tomar y así estar consciente. No puedes verlo y conocerlo, ¿no?
Yeah. You have caught the mistake of Gabi, you see, and then of course, you are saying, and then of course you will say, you might say it or you might not say it, but you saying it, talking to Gabi is the additional stuff. Gabi, why are you doing this? Come on, do Pratikraman now. There's nothing else you can do. Gabi, do Pratikraman.
Y lo más maravilloso de esto es que también al ver esto, le puedes decir a Gaby que hagas Pratikraman.
So then
Shuddha,
that is,
and the fact that Niruma did 400 Pratikramans a day, what does it mean? We make mistakes every breath we take, or because I see only one, maybe one or two faults a day. Le digo que Niruma hacía 400, 500 pratikramas por día. Digo, ¿cómo es eso? ¿Cuántos errores hacemos por día? Yo no veo más que a veces veo uno. Y quería preguntar.
So then simple answer is that you like everything that's going on. That's all.
Es simple lo que te pasa. Lo que quiere decir es que te gusta todo lo que está sucediendo.
There's not much atikraman, not much hurt, aggression, hurtful activity is going on through Damien. If Damien is not hurting anyone, where is the problem of Pratikraman, right?
Si Damián no está hiriendo a alguien, ¿cuál es el problema? No hay agresión. Damián no está hiriendo a nadie. ¿Cuál es el problema?
No. You have to recognize that for hurt and pain to occur, usually it is through speech or actions, or it's visible to others, You do something and that other person is hurt. You say something and the other person is hurt. But you see, so that is visible to the world. It's visible to the other person. It is also visible to maybe some people around you that Damien hurt that other person, right? But then there is a lot of subtle stuff that goes on. The subtle stuff is called kashais, you see. You know, if a competitor friend of, if somebody in your company who is your competitor at your level gets promoted or gets recognized, you're not doing anything to hurt him, but inside your pride will arise, you see. Your pride will arise and you will start saying negative. You will start feeling negative about that man. You have not done anything, but there is a negative feeling towards him. Now, does that negative feeling require a pratikraman or not? You don't like it, so you'll be able to, you say, oh, initially you don't think about it, but your pride is hurt, or it could be something else. If whatever you're planning silently inside, it may be hurtful to the others, and so you have to do pratikraman, you see. So that's where there are a lot of pratikramans come in,
Yeah.
In the subtle level.
In that case, every person you see, you have a mistaken judgment on that. So it's
called abhav. Abhav means you're supposed to see the Lord in him, and then, but your opinions about him move you away from the Lord in him. Your opinions about him move you away from him. You're supposed to. So that kind of pratikraman is needed for this. Why do you get attracted to some human beings and then, other people you don't even look at them? Why? So when people that you don't...
traducir, sorry.
Sí, me perdí.
Lo que dice Shuddha es que si vos vas al lugar evidente, probablemente no hieras a muchas personas en ese nivel. Lo que sí tenemos que ver es la parte sutil. Adentro nuestro muchas cosas están pasando. Cada vez que vemos una persona tenemos un juicio negativo sobre esa persona y eso es abao, se llama. Entonces yo le digo, en ese caso, cada vez que veo a una persona cometo un error. Por el cual tengo que hacer Pratikraman. Entonces, ahí es donde se explica los 500 Pratikraman de Niruma, digamos, en el nivel sutil, donde vos cada vez que ves a una persona tenés un sentimiento negativo. Y ahí está el kit de la cuestión.
Yeah,
las opiniones.
Yeah, many of the aggression that happens in column 6 of our 9 columns, you see, the sexual part is subtle, You don't openly do nasty, you don't do anything hurtful to anyone openly, but inside if the thoughts arise, all of those things arise, that requires pratikraman, because now before you say what's wrong with it, I can say, I can think all kinds of things. I'm not doing anything with her. I can think. But no, now it's different, no? Now you're Amapura, you see. And Amapura says, oh, Damien is now thinking about all of these things. So just reversal, that's all. Reversal, coming away from it.
I have a question. First, I translate. La agresión habla del calam número 6, que es lo sexual, ¿no? Y habla de lo sexual. Dice, tal vez no haces nada, ¿no? Pero tienes pensamientos. Y estos pensamientos que surgen requieren Pratikraman, porque ahora tú eres alma pura. Y él le dice a Damián que Damián pensaba en esto. This is because in the thinking, it is about a vibration that reaches the other person.
Is it the vibration that reaches the other person? Whether it reaches or not, whether it reaches or not, you certainly lost your blissful self, did you not? You know, you went away from yourself, you see.
Yo le pregunté a Shuddha si con el pensamiento produce vibraciones, alcanzamos a la otra persona y la podemos herir. Y dice que lo alcance o no es que yo, que Patricia, que estoy fuera del ser bendecido.
Yeah, you
Not
see,
only with sex, no, if
with
I am
yeah, no, but what I'm
angry or whatever, or have
in
bad thoughts about somebody.
yes, but the highest number of faults in this era of the time cycle happens in matters of sex, you see. So now, you know, everything, you're going for a drive, you're going for a walk in a nice place, you see human beings, you see, and you will be able to see where the faults are happening. You will be able to see the faults, you see. Well, not to see the Amapura in the other human being is a fault.
Acá dice Shuddha que la mayor parte del problema vienen con los problemas, con los pensamientos sexuales. Y podemos ir caminando por la calle o ir a algún lugar lindo y ver personas, ¿no? Y las estamos viendo como personas. Y eso ya en sí mismo es una falta, porque la otra es un alma pura. Y el ver a la persona como alma pura, si no la vemos como alma pura, estamos en error.
Es eso, these are called pratikramans for wrong vision, right? A wrong, erroneous vision that, we have come home, and why again this falls through thoughts only, about a wonderful, beautiful woman or a man or whatever. Why? You see, so you can see now, Damien, that the numbers increase, you see, the numbers will increase. Pratikramans, you see something wrong, not seeing the Amapura of the other human being is a significant violence. It is fault. It's called fault, you see. No, if nothing has happened, you say, okay, fine. But inside, you need to, this is the pratikramans of the Gnani, you see, Niruma, Deepakbhai. Their pratikramans are at this level, you see. From slipping away, from seeing it as it is through 5 agnas. So, you can see how many times slowly we miss the agnas, you see. That's where the pratikramans accumulate. Now, all this pain and hurt, this one, palavras, this, that, it doesn't happen for Mahatmas too much now, you see. Just like as you were mentioning, I'm happy, nobody's unhappy around me, so where is the pratikraman? So you have to do pratikramans for rag, for the attachment. Something still attracts you to somebody, you see. That's called pratikramans for rag. Ragna pratikraman. It's so easy. Just see the Amapura of that person and it's over. You see the body, you see her beautiful body, or you see her beautiful dress. Usually it's the latter that catches her attention. So the way she's dressed, you see. The way a woman dresses fools you more than if you see her naked, you see. And so that is how it is. That's how the world is. That is the world of illusion, you see.
Yeah. Bueno, el Pratikraman es se hace cuando tenemos la visión errónea. todos nosotros hemos vuelto al hogar, ¿no? ¿Y para qué estas faltas, ¿no? De ver un hombre hermoso, una mujer hermosa. Entonces ahí surge, hay que hacer, es necesario el Pratikraman, que no estamos viendo el alma pura. Y esa es la falta. Esa es la falta por la cual Niruma, Gnani, hacen Pratikraman, por no ver el alma pura. Y cuando no vemos el alma pura, nos perdemos. Y sobre todo también hay que hacer Pratikraman por el rag, por el apego. Es fácil ver el alma pura en vez de mirar el cuerpo. Pero también sucede que a veces ves una mujer que está vestida de determinada manera y sus vestidos te llaman la atención. Y dice que a veces llama más la atención la vestimenta que ver una mujer desnuda. Y así es la ilusión.
If some man or woman is speaking and to suddenly interfere and take over the talking, it's a fault, you see. You have blocked that human being in his natural flow. you have to do Pratikraman for it. Now this kind of Pratikraman, you see, any interfere in the flowing river of life, my river, your river, somebody's river is flowing, any interference, any kind of interference is aggression. As long as you know it, it's fine. If you don't know it, then it is a fault, you see.
Por ejemplo, cuando una persona está hablando y tú le interrumpes, lo que estás bloqueando es su fluir. Y ahí estás interfiriendo en el fluir de esa persona. Si puedes darte cuenta, está bien, y si no, es una agresión. Esa interferencia es una agresión, por lo cual se requiere un Pratikraman.
So Dada asks us all, Dada says, would you not be able to catch a fault this way? It's a beautiful question. Dada wants us to catch the fault. Catch the fault means whatever Gabi, Damien does, you may not like it. The fact that you do not like it means you can see the fault, and that is called catching the fault, you know?
Yes. Dada nos pregunta a todos, ¿eres capaz de ver una falta de esta forma? Y el hecho que puedas ver la falta es ahí donde la agarras. El hecho de que no te guste. Entonces ahí, cuando sucede eso y no te gusta, ahí lo estás agarrando.
Yeah, and Dada Shri now says, and the man says, yes, I can catch it. Now I see it, Dada. And Dada Shri says, therefore, that whatever faults existed in Damien or in Babi or Chandubhai, now those faults you have now seen them. In other words, now you're beginning to see them. And the seeing of a fault is the departure of the fault. Beautiful sentence, you know.
Wow. Dada dice que cualquier falta que de Gaby o Damián o cualquiera, de Chandu, si ya la has empezado a ver, eso quiere decir que la falta está desapareciendo.
Seeing, just the seeing of the fault, just seeing it means it's gone, you see. And
el solo hecho de poder verla hace que desaparezca.
And then the next sentence is also very beautiful, also present in our Flawless Vision book. The arising of the vision that sees the fault of the self. Nijdosh darshan is called. The arising of the vision that sees the fault of the small SELF, fault of the self, small SELF, file 1, you see? Self, file 1. As soon as that vision arises, the ability to see the fault of Shuddha, of Patri, Cecilia, the ability to see the fault of the self is the beginning of becoming the absolute Lord, is the beginning of becoming a God. God sees his own faults, you see, no one else's, you see.
Cuando surge la visión que ve la falta del ser con minúscula, del file one, esa habilidad de poder ver es el comienzo de volverte el Lord, porque el Lord puede ver sus propias faltas.
Becoming Paramatma, absolute self, you see, or God. The more faults you see of yours, the more of a God you become.
Cuanto más cuanto más faltas ves, te vuelves el absoluto Paramatma. Y te vuelves más Lord, más Dios.
Now, so the questioner then asks, I love this sentence of yours that the seeing of the fault means the leaving of the fault. The questioner says, I love that sentence. You see it and it leaves. You see it and it leaves.
Dice una pregunta, dice, entonces, tú ves la falta y la falta se va. Me encanta ayudar esta frase.
I love that sentence. Seeing the fault is the leaving of the fault. The departure of the fault.
Ver la falta es la partida de la falta. Me
And
encanta tu
Dadashri then says, yes, the Vitrag Lords have said, the Vitrag Bhagavan Lord has said, told us, you see the fault. Tu doshne joile. The Lord, the fully enlightened Lord, only instructs us. His only instruction is, you see the fault. 4 words. You see the fault. You see the fault. Just see it completely. See it as it is, you see. All right? You don't have...
dice, yes, dice sí, el Lord Vitarag. Dice, tú ve la falta. ¿Cómo es? Esta es su instrucción.
Yeah, I'm giving you word by word because these are all very important things, for us. The seeing of the fault is the leaving of the fault. In the fault leaves, you see, of the fault. The fault leaves, the fault departs, is gone. Nothing to be done. Just see it. I have brought you to the level. Where you can see the tiniest fault. And we just said, Damien was asking about 500, 100, 500. Well, if you really read the Navkalams properly, if you read the Navkalam properly, there is fault at every level of the Navkalam. If you're not doing it, you're making somebody do it. If they, or you're making circumstances, so he will make the fault. You see, so there's so many faults at every level: speech, level of speech, level of feelings, even sorry, go on.
Lo más maravilloso es poder ver la falta, esa es la instrucción. Ver la falta, cuando ves la falta se va. Y entonces surge este conocimiento. Y en tu pregunta de los 400 Pratikraman de Niruma, ¿no? Es estar claro con los 9 kalams, porque en los 9 kalams está todo. Y podemos estar hiriendo a alguien, surgen las palabras, surgen sentimientos, y es poder ver.
Yeah. See the fault. Not just see the fault, but it means for once and all, for once and all. And once and all means, what do you mean by seeing the fault? You see the fault exactly, you see where exactly is the fault, where does the fault lie? It lies in Damien. Why? What is its foundation? What's going on behind it? Now that means you have seen the fault. You see, you understand? Seeing a fault means you see it from the top, from the bottom, you see its roots, you see everything about that fault. You are able to see why it keeps on happening again and again with some people, you see, when you're interacting with someone, you see.
Poder ver la falta, poder ver la falta exacta, a dónde está, qué sucede detrás de esa falta. Poder ver la falta desde arriba hasta abajo y sus raíces. ¿Y por qué esto sucede, continúa sucediendo?
And Dadashri also furthermore said, you just have to see it, but if you get involved in the fault, ekagratavati, if you get involved in the fault, oh, I did something terrible. When will I be forgiven? All of this, then that means this is so important. Let me take a look at this sentence. If you become involved in that fault, if you become involved in it, if you become tanmayakar in it, that means you have not looked at the fault. And so with reference to that fault, you remain blind. You remain blind. You haven't seen the fault. Seeing the fault means you're seeing it with the awareness of the self, you see. It's not happening to me. Damien did it. Shuddha did this. Shuddha is doing this. It's still going on in that direction. So you see the saying of the fault, that when the Lord says, see it for once and all, see it exactly, then saying it makes it leave, you see.
Dada dice que ver la falta, pero verla con mayúsculas, pero no te involucres en la falta, no te dices, ¡ay, qué horror, cómo pude haber hecho eso! Entonces no estás viendo la falta, permaneces en la falta. Es verla desde el alma, ver el alma.
You see, it's so pretty. Look, let me elaborate this further. When a fault happens, you see, when a fault happens, and this is a common mistake that a lot of Mahatmas make, when a fault happens, and if it is a serious fault, you see, if it is a serious fault, hurtful, it hurts a lot of people, it hurts you, or then you get involved in that fault. Other people will say, oh, you did this. What a stupid thing to do. How hurtful you are. Other people may avoid you. They don't like coming near you, etc. And you get involved in the fault, you see. And so Dada says, becoming involved in the fault means you stop seeing in the direction of the fault. The fault lies here in the Pudgal, but you stop seeing it. And therefore, with reference to that fault, you remain blind. You cannot see the fault. You cannot see the fault. You're so involved in it. Man, I did it. Horrible. How can I get out of it? That's terrible. Now, all of those things are you know, you're blind to the fault. You're not seeing the fault. You're not seeing the fault, you see. You're not seeing this fault. Everybody understand that? Okay, I'm translating
Okay.
Dada's words.
Cuando la falta sucede, puede ser una falta que sea seria, dolorosa, que lastimen muchas personas. Luego te involucras. ¿Por qué? Porque la gente dice, ¿cómo pudiste hacer esto o lo otro? Como que te critican o opinan. Entonces estás mirando directamente en dirección a la falta y eso te vuelve ciego. Y estás tan involucrado pensando cómo puedes hacer para salir de esto. No lo puedes ver, no lo puedes.
Shuddha.
Yes. Okay, let me give you. Yes, who is this? Who is this?
Rosie.
Yes, Rosie. I'll be with you in 1 more minute. Let me complete this sentence. Not only you remain blind to the fault, but now that fault has got you. The fault has got you.
Wow. No solamente permaneces ciego a la falta, sino que la falta te atrapó.
Yeah, the fault catches you or clings on to you.
Or,
Or of course catches you or clings on to you. The only way to really kind of remain separate from the fault is to be able to see the fault. See the fault. If you don't see the fault, you enter the fault. Now, once you enter the fault, it grabs you. You see, it grabs you. Yes, Rosie. Okay, go and translate that first.
Cuando la falta te vuelve te vuelve ciego por que no ves la falta, es que la falta te atrapó la falta. Ver la falta sin entrar. Si entras, te atrapa.
Yes, Rosie. Rosie? Yeah.
Sí, Rosy pudo observar que las últimas 3 veces que tuvo conflictos con otras personas, en un primer momento quedó atrapada y después yendo hacia atrás para ver dónde comenzó todo, se dio cuenta que las 3 veces todo comenzó cuando Rosy salió del papel de observador y fue al papel de hacedor. Y ahí comenzó todo el problema. Al darme cuenta de eso, automáticamente hice Pratikraman y todo volvió a la normalidad. Pero aprendí la lección de estar siempre en observador, ya salirme del papel de hacedor.
Rosie wants to share that in her last 3 conflicts she had, when she realized that everything began when she left the observer, she left the seeing, the scene, the fault, that there was when conflicts arised. So she learned the lesson and she did Pratikraman. When she get out of the observer, of the seeing of the fault, and when she did Pratikraman, everything erased and conflict finished.
Yes.
That's the lesson she learned.
Yeah, but beautiful experience. That's exactly where so many Pratikramans are needed, because we slip out, you see, from out of the seeing mode. Evsama Pura, my role is to just see and to know that everything that happens, but I get out, and when you get out, you have to say, oh my Lord, forgive me. This is, even to get out is the aggression, coming home is the Pratikraman, see, so that's so, please forgive me, I interfered. That is called the interference. To get out and become Rosie is the interference, you see. Yes, thank you. That is a very beautiful experience, and that is what is happening to all of us. Many times we can just continue to see what's going on, and at other times we are pulled into Rosie, Shuddha, Cecilia, Fabiana, you know. So this is the satsang of Dadashri. Yes, you get pulled out to do neutral things, you know, like you're cooking or driving or this or that, or talking with people, taking a walk, etc. That is not a problem, you know. The Amapura is still aware of what's going on. The problem is to be able to see the fault. See the fault, you see. Fault is that which hurts other human beings, you see.
Yes. El rol es permanecer en el conocedor y observador, y decir, pedirle al Lord que por favor nos perdone. Y con el Pratikraman volvemos al hogar. La interferencia es, de deslizarse a Rosy. Y este es el satsang de Dada. En lo diario, cocinar, hablar, limpiar, hacer las cosas que uno hace, eso no es ningún problema. El gran tema es ver la falta que hiere a otro ser.
Good. Let us take a 10-minute break. Huh? All right. And then we'll be back. All right. Thank you. Huh? Thank you, Damien and Patricia and Marcela. All right. Okay. Be back.
10 minutos de recreo.
All right. Okay.
Thank you, Shuddha.
Thank you, my dear. Yes. Yes, Damien. So Damien has a question or wants to say something. Okay, Fabi. All right, wonderful. Jai Sachidanand. Can you hear me, Patricia?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. When he comes, we will take his question. The ability to see a fault, the ability to see a fault within is natural now for us, you see. You know, Dada has placed such a blissful one inside that the slightest event of pain, whether it is mental, physical, or verbal, to anyone, you're able to see it. You and I are able to see it, and we do not like it, you see. We really do not like it. And that indicates that we are separate from that fault, you see. That indicates that we are separate. That, so you can continue to see so many faults. The more you remain the knower seer, the more the faults will be seen, you see. You will be able to see the faults, you see.
Yes.
Go on.
La habilidad de ver las faltas. Dada nos posicionó en un lugar donde podemos ver el dolor tanto físico, verbal, mental, ¿no? Y el hecho de poder verlos demuestra que estamos separados. Entonces podemos continuar viendo las faltas, ¿no? Y cuanto más nos mantengamos en el observador, mayor será.
And we learned something new. You see, the fault is in Akram Vignan is something that will arise in worldly interactions with other human beings, and without the presence of a human being, it will arise inside, you, and it gives you, there is a B in here, it gives you the ability to see it, you see, that it will arise and you can see it, you see, you can see it naturally, and in the seeing the fault is the leaving of the fault. Seeing the fault means it leaves, you see. In not seeing the fault is equal to either getting involved in the fault too much, or you are not applying your awareness, you're not seeing it, you see. Yeah. Go on. Yes, Damien.
Let me please. Aprendimos algo muy importante sobre las faltas en el Akram Vignan. Las faltas surgen inclusive entre Mahatmas, y las podemos verlas naturalmente. Y cuando vemos la falta se va. Si no podemos ver la falta, es que nos involucramos con ella. Practicamos el conocimiento.
Okay. Yes, Damien?
Yes, there are some faults that are continuous in time. For example, in my case, I think most of Kashais, but in my case, eating meat. I don't like it. I do Pratikraman. But if you just see the fault, where is your effort to get rid of the fault, or your relative effort to get rid of the fault?
And that's
you don't have to do any effort.
No. Yeah, you don't have
relative.
No, you don't have to do any effort to be away from the faults if you can see the fault, you see. Seeing is the leaving of the fault. Yes, you see, you have to understand that fault is that which Fault is that which gives rise to kashais, which stirs up kashais, you see. Fault is that which stirs up kashais. And that is where you have to focus. Is it causing kashais? If it doesn't cause kashais, there is no fault, you see. If it doesn't stimulate kashais, there is really no fault, you know. The other person goes away, you go in your ways, you know. Kashai is the fault. Or so there is no effort to remove the fault there. No effort is needed at all. The only effort is be who you are. In other words, be the Amapura, and you will see the fault. Fault comes to leave, comes in our lives to leave. And our role is to be, just be. We have never been what you and I are now in this life. We have never had that before. You know, we have never been the Amapuras, you know.
Yes. Bueno, Damián pregunta por el tema de comer carne. Él sabe que no está
La pregunta
bien.
es, ¿hay faltas que son continuas en el tiempo? Por ejemplo, en mi caso, comer carne o puede ser cualquier kashai. Entonces, el hecho de verlas implica que cómo manejamos el esfuerzo en el relativo para salir de la falta. Esa es la pregunta, cómo salimos de una falta que nos ataca todo el tiempo. Si solamente la miramos, ¿cómo hacemos?
Ok, gracias. Es ver la falta. La falta es aquello que puede traer kashais, ¿no? Y si no hay kashais, entonces no hay falta. El kashai es la falta. No hay que hacer esfuerzos, el alma pura ve la falta, y cuando la falta se va. Y solo ve, nunca, ay, no sé lo que puse acá, y permanece en el alma pura. Nunca estuvimos en el estado de conciencia en ninguna vida como el que llegamos ahora.
Yes. The vision that allows you to see the fault of file 1, Damien and Shuddha. Patricia says that means you are now getting ready to become a god. That's all. There is no other, nothing else. It just, that is exactly what is happening, you see. That inability, and that's exact words of Dada, he says. And now Dadashri says, the Lord has said, you see that fault for once and all. See that fault. Not just temporarily. See that fault and be done with it. And seeing the fault is to complete your quote-unquote effort. We don't call it an effort. There no effort is required in seeing the fault, you see. But just see the fault. When you see the fault, see, you know, Damien says it continues happening. Well, that's how it was programmed. That is how it has been manufactured. It has different layers. It has different layers, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 layers. So one layer, fault will arise, another layer, fault will arise. Just see, you see. And if it does not end up creating any pain to anyone else, there is nothing else to be done, is there? There is nothing else to be done, except to see it.
Yes. La visión, de poder ver significa que estás listo para ser un Dios. Eso es lo que está sucediendo. Y Dada dice, que el Lord dice, tú ve la falta y termina con ello, sin esfuerzo. Y esto continúa sucediendo porque así fue programado, capas y capas y capas. Y si no causa daño a nadie, solo observa.
Dadashri now continues to say that, remember that I talked about if you don't see the fault and you get involved with the fault, then that fault will catch you, you see. That fault will, we've already said it. Now Dadashri says, but if you see that fault, then that fault will go to its home, you see. It'll go away. You see, go to its home means it'll go away, you see, from where it came. It doesn't, the fault does not have any further give and take with you. Sorry, the fault, the answer is, Dada says, the fault does not have anything to do with you. Any give and take with you. You means not Damien, not Shuddha, you, Amapura. The fault does not have any connection with you. And therefore, because you saw it, that fault goes away. And it says, when it goes away means it gets purified and it goes away, you see.
No. Yes. Si tú antes estuvimos viendo que no ves la falta, entonces la falta te atrapa, pero acá Dada dice que si ves la falta se va. Y la falta no tiene nada que ver contigo, no tiene nada que ver contigo, porque tú eres alma pura. La falta, la falta sale, se purifica y se va.
Okay, so I just gonna give me 1 minute. I'm going to close the window here because there's a bee that's coming in. There are a lot of roses and flowers, and so the bees come. So I'm going to close the window. Okay.
Vamos a cerrar la ventana porque está lleno de abejas ahí, dice Shuddha.
Okay. All right, back again. I don't know. Let me see. We got about 15 minutes, so let us do one more. Yes, we're all learning something new. I must, every time you go into it, there is something new with the other stuff. All right, so the next, it becomes pure and it goes away. Now, so that's the last one. Now the next heading is with the vision of Gnan, there is release from bondage, you see. You are bound with your faults through ignorance. We, you and I, are bound with our faults through ignorance. And we become free with the vision of Gnan. With the vision of Gnan, we become free from these faults. We discuss these faults. Anything that violates the 8 columns, the 9 columns is false, you see. And we're bound with them because we have not looked at them. We have not seen them as false, you see.
Ahora, con la visión del Gnan, nos podemos liberar de las cargas y poder ver, ¿no? y conocer los 9 kalams que habla sobre las faltas. Antes no lo conocíamos y ahora nos podemos liberar de esa ignorancia y liberarnos.
Yeah, so now and the other says, now what is the claim of that fault, of that fault? We talked about the faults, right, that you saw. What is the claim of that fault? Claim?
¿Cuál es el reclamo de esta falta?
What is the claim? That Pudgal tells you, that Pudgal, it's from the non-self complex. That Pudgal tells you, it tells you, you have become Shuddhatma, Amapura. But what about me?
Yes. Entonces dice, ¿cuál es el reclamo de esa falta, no? El Pudgal te dice, o el Body Complex te dice, tú te volviste Shuddhatma, y ahora, ¿qué pasa conmigo? ¿Qué hay para mí? ¿Qué hay de mí?
So, it says, so you say, you can say, no, I don't have any connection with you anymore to the fault. And it said, no, you have spoiled me. You had spoiled me by latching on to me. You had entered me. Now you have to let go of me. I was happy and pure, but you came and attached to me. Now let me go. You see? But if you do not, if you do not release it as it was, if you do not, the Pudgal is saying, it's hypothetically, the other says, the Pudgal, the non-self complex is saying, if you do not let me go as in the state that I used to be before you interfered, then until then you will not be released, you see. I was innocent. You're the one who came and spoiled me by saying, mine, I am this. What business is it for you to say, my body? Okay?
Yes. Entonces le dicen, yo no tengo nada que ver contigo, yo era libre y puro hasta que tú llegaste y dijiste, es mi cuerpo, mi esto, mi lo otro. Tú me arruinaste.
Yeah, you have to release me in the state that I was before, you see.
Tú tienes que dejarme en el estado en que era anteriormente.
You see,
como era anteriormente.
You see this. So then you ask for the Pudgal. You say, well, how can I get released? How can I get released from you, O fault? Right? And this is the beauty of Dada talking to Pudgal, the non-self complex. How can I get released from you? Then the fault says, the Pudgal says, you see, you saw me through ignorance, and that is why I got caught in with you. In ignorance, you saw me and you say, oh, this body, this is who I am. This mind, this is who I am. This is mine, you see? And so you saw me in ignorance and I got bound with you. Now you need to see me with Gnan and I will be released. Isn't that beautiful?
Yes. Dice, tienes que dejarme como yo era anteriormente, ¿no? Que era puro. Entonces dice, bueno, ¿y cómo puede ser eso? Dice, tú me tiraste en la ignorancia al decir, esto soy yo, este es mi cuerpo, esto es mío. Entonces ahora tienes que verme puro.
So then he says, the ignorance with which you saw me is the reason why I got bound with you. I was fine until you said, my body. Now you have to see it in Gnan, and then, then we will be free. You see, you have to let go of me. I'm not yours. The body is saying to you and I, I'm not yours. Don't consider me to be yours.
Wow. La ignorancia con que me viste, ¿no? Y ahora estás con la visión y el conocimiento del Gnan. Déjame ir, no me consideres tuyo.
With you, and you see? And seeing means ignorance. Now, by seeing me with Gnan, by seeing me with Gnan, we get released.
Entonces, ahora al verme con Gnan, nos vemos realizados.
And you know,
Sí.
Dadashri says, until you strain, next sentence is, until you strain a fault with Gnan. You know, strain, you pour tea, you know, over a tea leaves, you know, and then you strain it, you know. That the leaves are in the strainer, and then you pour hot water on it, and then, you know, the good tea, the filtered tea comes out below. It says, until you strain a fault with Gnan, that knowledge, that fault will not go. It will not go. Gnan is the only way to become free from fault.
Yes. Dice, por ejemplo, con las hojas de té, tú las pones en un colador o una tetera, le echas agua adentro y la hoja se llena de agua caliente. Entonces, hasta que con el Gnan esa falta, dice, no se va.
That which was bound in ignorance, you see, gets released with Gnan. Okay, that which was bound with ignorance get released with Gnan. Gnan means to see.
Bueno, todo lo que es atado a la ignorancia libera con el Gnan. Y Gnan quiere decir ver, con mayúsculas.
Seeing, I mean, very simple sentence. Seeing is the release.
Ver es la liberación.
Yes, and whatever it may be, whether good or bad, you see, it doesn't matter.
Todo lo que sea bueno o malo, eso no importa. Se libera.
Seeing is the release, you see. It's Gnan means to see, seeing is to get released, you see. That is the completion of that heading.
Bueno, ver es liberación. Ver con el Gnan es liberación.
So, Vishuddhatma Bhagavan, these are all very, very deep topics, but it's very easy. And you know, the power of seeing is everything. It's the power of the self is everything. The energy of the self lets you see the tiniest to the most horrible mistake, and your and my role is just to see it, just to see it. Nothing to do to make it go away. Nothing to do.
Solo es ver desde la pequeña falta hasta la más grande. Es solo ver, sin ningún esfuerzo, solo ver.
Thank you. Before we close, does anybody else have to say anything, or shall we close and say good morning?
Thank you.
Yeah, Jai Sachidanand, thank you very much.
Jai Sachitana. Muchas gracias, Shuddha.
Muchas gracias,
Marcela.
Muchas gracias.
Jai Sachitana.
Jai Sachitana.
Jai Sachitana.
Jai Sachitana.
Yeah, everyone here.
Jai Sachitana.
Jai Sachitana.
Gracias, Patri. Jai Sachitana.
Gracias, Patri. Gracias,
Gracias, Dani.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Jai